Hi there, Whiskey World. I'm Ted, Digital Assistant Editor and Tasting Coordinator for Whiskey Advocate. There's a lot of whiskey to choose from, and if you aren't sure what to buy or what it is you're about to taste, there's always information to gain from reading the label. Let's start with Whisky Type. Is this bourbon, Scotch, Irish, Canadian, or something else entirely? The label is required to tell you, and each of these whiskey styles comes with specific mandates that may include country of production, raw materials, still types, aging, and more. From there, look for the location of the producer. Is this Kentucky bourbon, Islay Scotch, Indian single malt? Is specific region even important, or are you dealing with a blend? Even single words can relay key information. The producer may state the whiskey is distilled by, produced by, bottled by, crafted by. Not all of these words mean the same thing. If it says distilled by, then you know the whiskey was definitely distilled by that company. Other verbs might suggest the producer sourced the whiskey from another distiller, although they may have matured it, finished it, blended it, or had it designed to their specifications. When a label states an age, like 10 years, you know the youngest whiskey in that bottle is at least 10 years. Other descriptors can clue you into the age as well. Straight refers to certain styles of American whiskey that are at least 2 years old. If bourbon is younger than 4 years, the label is required to state how old it is. This can often be found on the back of the label. Bottled in bond or bonded is reserved for whiskeys that meet certain requirements. They are always at least 4 years old. The percentage of alcohol by volume, or ABV, can also be found on the label. All whiskeys are at least 40% ABV, but many are much higher. If you double the ABV, you get the proof. Bottled in bond whiskey has to be 50% ABV or 100 proof, and some cask strength whiskeys are higher still. A higher ABV reflects that there is more alcohol and less water in the bottle, and it might indicate whether you want to add ice or water. From there, you can start to dive into even more detail. Is this whiskey single barrel? And if so, does it tell you the barrel number? Is this a batch product, meaning released sporadically rather than continuously throughout the year? Many brands use their own naming conventions, with Michter's here using the code 19D662. 19 represents the year it was released, 2019, while D would be the month of release, this one being April. The remaining numbers are for internal tracking. Besides telling you when a whiskey was bottled, the batch or barrel number is an identifier to help you find the same whiskey again or compare between batches. There's a lot of text on the label, and not all of it is informational. Turn it around, examine it carefully, lay it on its side, inspect the neck. There's a lot to learn about a whiskey just by reading the label, but there is, of course, more to learn by tasting it. Cheers.